haven't been gone for very long, but I am back with the next book for my next round of the Traveling Annotated Books series. So this is the book that I picked to read that I'm going to pass on. There are 5 of us in this group, so we will read 5 books total. We're currently all reading our books that we picked, and we will send it on to the next person. If you have not seen any of these videos, basically we are reading books and annotating them and just having a conversation in the margins of the page with our fellow book club members. And this has just been such a fun journey for us. I just finished reading 4 books with a different group of women, but now our group has grown in numbers, and so we actually had a group of like 10 people. We had to split it into 5. So I am running one group, another admin is running another group, and we are just enjoying life and reading, and I'm just excited to see what I get this round. So far in the book that I'm reading, Then She Was Gone by Lisa Jewell, I read one other Lisa Jewell book and I enjoyed it. This book I had not really heard much of, but it is about a girl named Ellie Mack. She was the perfect daughter, and then she was gone. 10 years after Ellie's disappearance, her mother, Laurel Mack, is trying to put her life back together when she meets an unexpectedly charming man in a cafe. Before she knows it, she's meeting Floyd's daughters, and his youngest, Poppy, takes Laurel's breath away because the eerily precocious Poppy is a spitting image of Ellie. And now the unanswered questions she tried so hard to put to rest begin to haunt Laurel anew. Where did Ellie go? Did she run away from home, as the police have long suspected, or did something more sinister happen? Okay, so right now where I'm in the book, there's dual timelines. You get a little bit of what's happening in present day, and then you get what's happening in the past. And so far you just find out that Ellie says, hey, I'm going to the library, I'll be back for lunch, and she never shows up. And so her mom calls the cops. They look for her for 2 years, 2 freaking years, and can't find her. This is set in the UK, so even the CCTV, they can't find her. So they suspect that she's just a runaway, but now it's been 10 years, and the chapter I just finished, the cops just called Laurel and say, hey, we found something, we need you to come down to the station. So I am interested to see where this goes. So far it's been kind of negative undertones. Laurel is the mom to 3 kids, and she says Hannah, the middle child, the difficult one, the tiring one, the one she wouldn't want to be stranded on a desert island with. Like, how negative is that she says that about her own child? And then there's something else in here that says this is in the past, that Ellie is asking for a math tutor, and if she hadn't been such a spoiled brat, if she hadn't been expecting her mother to wave a magic wand and solve all her problems for her, if she hadn't even the vaguest idea of the reality of her parents' finances, if she cared about anything other than herself, the conversation would have ended there. I think that's just a weird description, in my opinion, of a child acting. I don't really know if this is like Laurel's point of view, but Laurel also thinks that Ellie's her golden child, so I think that's strange that it's describing Ellie as a spoiled brat. I don't know. I don't know. I think maybe I'm just reading too much into the narrative, but I am excited to see where this book takes me, and I will check in once I'm about halfway done. I am doing my halfway check-in of Then She Was Gone. Actually, it's a little less than halfway, but I just got to part 3, so I figured this would be a great time for me to stop and reflect on what I've been reading. So we are following Laurel. The dual timeline has kind of stopped at this point. That only lasted for like a handful of chapters in the beginning of the book. So right now we are just following Laurel, and she is dating Floyd. Floyd has two children. He has Sarah Jade, who is older and in her 20s, and then he has Poppy, who is 9 years old. As the book is progressing, we learn more that Poppy is very similar in appearance to Ellie, Laurel's missing daughter. Laurel just can't seem to let it go. Even Floyd's daughter, SJ, said, "Hey, I Googled you, and your missing daughter looks an awful lot like my sister." That's kind of where I'm at right now. She's uncovering a little bit more at a time, and she has found out that somebody that was in her and her daughter's life was also in Floyd's life. I'm not going to give too much away there, just in case you want to pick this book up. So she's kind of trying to connect the dots, and she's becoming more and more curious. Floyd's acting like it's not really a big deal to answer these questions, so he's very open about everything, but part of me feels like maybe that's a little rehearsed. I don't know. I am still trying to feel Floyd out. There is another part in this book where they all go have a family dinner for Laurel and her oldest daughter's birthday, and everybody gets along really well at the dinner. Hannah and Laurel's ex-husband Paul say that they like Floyd, and then a couple weeks later, or a week later, Jake, Laurel's son, calls her. Jake and his girlfriend say that they get a bad vibe from Floyd. So I'm like, okay, do we go with Hannah? Do we go with Jake? Like, I don't know. He does seem like a nice guy. He is thoughtful and romantic so far, but there's definitely still some red flags in this book as well. For instance, Poppy doesn't go to school. She is homeschooled, but Floyd is a single father and works a full-time job. So is she really getting the best education? She acts way older than her age, like way older. And it's even in there that they say, oh, she's like kind of like a 40-year-old woman in a 9-year-old's body. It's a little weird. Anyway, I'm having a lot of fun reading this book. I have a couple speculations going on in here, and it's just been really fun to kind of pick apart the text and write down my speculations, and hopefully my cohort of women that is going to read this with me pick up on different clues, and like maybe they'll see stuff that I missed. Like, that's kind of why I picked a thriller for this, because it makes it a little bit more fun, because you can put in your speculations and stuff like that. But I'm gonna hopefully finish this book today. I always say that and then it never happens, but I have about 3.5 hours left in the audiobook. Of course, it does take time to annotate, especially when you're listening and annotating. I'll check back in after I finish the book. I'm a little nervous to see if my speculations were actually correct, because if they are, I'm going to be really, really sad. But I will check in, and I'll see you guys in a little bit. Last night I did stay up late reading, and I ended up finishing my book around 11 o'clock. But it's finished, and I'm glad that I did. I enjoyed this book a lot. I kind of predicted the twists in the story, but I still enjoyed how everything kind of came full circle for Laurel and her family. I think that I saw Laurel grow as a character a lot in this book, and I think that's why I really, really liked this book, because I'm not gonna lie, in the beginning she was kind of insufferable. Like, she's just like, oh, Ellie's my golden girl, Ellie's my precious child, like, forget my other kids. Like, honestly, her son was hardly even mentioned for half of the book until her birthday dinner. I don't even know the son's name, to be honest. And then as time goes on, she decides that she needs to invest in relationships with her other children, and I really saw her grow as a character, and I really appreciated that, because you don't get that a lot in thrillers. So I definitely like that. The ending, of course, is so sad, because you find out what happens to Ellie, and it's so sad. There's actually a couple of deaths that were not expected, which one of them I was kind of glad about, but the other, I didn't feel like it was necessary, but I think that maybe that character would not have been able to handle the pressure of facing their consequences. So I realized that I finished this book and I just finished wrapping it up for the next person that's going to read it. But I wanted to show you these really cute illustrations that I did. Let me cover up the name of who it's going to. But so I did a little magnifying glass because it's a mystery. And then I drew a little backpack and it says Ellie on it. That's the girl that went missing. And in the story, you find her rucksack. I put a tutor for hire and I put Ellie's tutor's name on there. And then down here, I put a little, some flowers. I'll just put a picture up on the screen so you guys can see it better. But I drew some flowers and then it says love tea because Laurel cleans her daughter's apartment and ends up finding a little love note and it says love tea, and you kind of are left wondering who T is. So a lot of little mysteries. Yeah, I did enjoy it. I ended up giving it a 4.5 stars. I don't think it's the best thing that's ever been written, but it was unique. It did keep me invested and I really enjoyed the story. Plus, I think that these characters are kind of relatable too because Laurel is not perfect. Her boyfriend and her ex-husband are not perfect. I just see the humanity in them, if that makes sense. I don't know. I just really liked it, and I hope that the next person that reads it likes it too. Thank you guys so much for joining me on another book annotation, and I will see you guys soon in a new video. Happy reading. Our next round of the annotated book series. And traveling, god damn it. Like it sounds weird when I'm talking, like I can hear it in my head. Alright, last night I did, my hair is just crazy today. Okay.